Hi everyone. Hi. Sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late. I had a friend over. She's still here actually. So if you hear anyone in the background, that's who that is. So why did this move over? I hit continue to YouTube and it didn't go. Let this load so I can mute myself. Shut up, Aaron. Okay. Now I can see the chat. And I never even advertised this on fucking Twitter. I'm an idiot. What do we have here? Hey, Mr. Blackwood. Hey, Tammy Sue. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Coy. Hey, Taboo Topics. What's up? The Crazy Lady. Nana Hawk. Oh my God. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Hey, Purple Dragon Chill. Sunshine Rain. What's up? Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm going to just hurry up and share this real quick to Twitter. So let me do that and then let's get started. So I pulled a few more screenshots, much like I pulled the other night. And I also finally found a video I've been looking for some time. I know I had it not too long ago, but I think I deleted it or something. And Katie had since deleted it from her YouTube channel. So I had to go to her old Facebook page, go back to the date, around the date where I know she had posted the video, find the post because, you know, she doesn't have access to her old Facebook page anymore. So I had to find the post, get the link, then put it through the Wayback Machine. And sure enough, there it was. So, yay. Anyway. All right, there we are. We're done. I posted it to Twitter. So, let me get over here. I have to share screen somewhere. Where I put it. There we go. Okay, so here are the screenshots. We're going to start there. Now, these screenshots are much like I was showing the last time I streamed. Or was it last time I streamed or the time before? I can't quite remember. Going over a lot of these scenarios or these events that have just been replaying for Katie. It's amazing because I was talking to someone earlier today, and of all the YouTubers or of all of anyone on social media ever, regardless of what they were doing on social media, no one has ever had this much problem with being stalked, harassed, threatened, or you name it, than Katie fucking Joy. No one. Like, she's so special like that. Apparently. I don't know. But what's funny about that is how these events of hers, they just keep reemerging at the most opportune times, it seems, for her. And also, they keep playing out much the same way. And she keeps using them and exploiting them in much the same way. She uses them to her advantage. So let me show you what I mean. So here's a post from Facebook here from June 2021. Now this is talking about the Natalie Kennett situation way back in 2021, back when it kind of came about throughout the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. God damn, that drink is so good. Oh, shit. Sorry. I made my orange creamsicle. I'm a good fucking bartender. I'm so humble about that too, I know. Anyways, if anyone wants the recipe, I'm more than happy to share it. So it says, this morning I woke up to over a dozen emails from accounts claiming to be people. Holy shit, imagine that. This is one example of more than 12 that I received. The stalker threatens to M and R, my son, slit my whatever, you know, that thing off me and etc. Because you can't use the actual words because YouTube algorithm picks it up and then you get demonetized. It's so stupid.
Really?
Yeah, she's laughing at me here. Like, what are you doing? We have learned how to track these emails. Okay. The stalker uses a spoofer email source. Yeah, you could trace the headers or whatever back to the proxy server in the Czech Republic. That's it. You're not actually tracking the emails. The IP address from the email header tells us the source of the emails. Yeah, EMKZEI or something like that in the Czech Republic. That's what it tells you. The site they use when you Google the host name is an email faker. It allows you to put any email address as the sender. The site allows hackers and stalkers to impersonate people online. The website is not secure, but a website that tracks down hackers explains what the email spoof sites do. Okay. The weird thing is the stalker named someone that has been targeting me, though I never said their name yesterday. The stalker also created fake emails from Creepshow Art to me. Another reason why I want to read this, because she keeps making references to Creepshow Art, and it seems like that was a narrative she was awfully desperate to sell. And I wonder why that is, or was. I wonder why it was. Every single email has been forwarded to my attorney, who will forward to the FBI. Now, we don't know what came of this, okay? Because you're going to hear all about the FBI and all these posts and comments too, and there's several comments I have. We don't know what came of this. Not a fucking thing. Not a goddamn fucking thing. Yeah. Anyway, next one. Okay. The stalkers have infiltrated several hate channels on YouTube. When Creepshow Art made her video about me, she directly sourced a Twitter account that is connected to my stalker. She also credited the Reddit connected to my stalker. The Reddit that is dedicated to exposing me was created to directly expose my lies and hypocrisy. No shit. That's actually a very true statement right there. The Reddit that's dedicated to exposing her or whatever was created to directly expose her lies and hypocrisy. At least now she's admitting that there are lies and hypocrisy worthy and that are deemed to be exposed. It's a big step. The Reddit has had people dox me. No, that would be her. She doxed herself. In my opinion, whatever, can't prove it. But potential ice for you, I believe, was the Reddit username. Someone in that Reddit posted a photo that's right here. Someone in that Reddit posted a photo of my next door neighbors with their grandson, published my address, and posted photos of my home with the address. If anyone wanted to dox her, they wouldn't go and victimize all these people surrounding her in which to do it. They would put her fucking info out there. That's what they're doing. Because like when she was covering the whole Sophie Long case and the judge's information, everything was put out there on Pastebin along with her information. What did they do? They just listed her information. They didn't go listing her neighbors and shit like that. No. Who would think to do that unless someone who wanted to make themselves more of a victim than they would be just by someone not being creative. Crazy. I understand criticism. No, you don't. But the subreddit is not to criticize. The subreddit is used to stalk and harass me. Now, all right. If you are a YouTuber, if you're a content creator, and you have a channel, and you push it out there for the public for the purpose of gaining views, it is not stalking when people give you those fucking views. Can we just all agree on that now? Seriously. If you post everything out there publicly for the purpose of being a content creator, an influencer, whatever, and people then give you that viewage, they are not stalking you. They're not. If they show up in your hometown and follow you around, sure, they're fucking stalking you. But if they're watching public shit that you created and put out there for the sole purpose of being viewed by people, they're not stalking you. That's so annoying to me. I don't know why, but it is. Only 2 weeks ago, someone from that Reddit posed as a source. Oh, that's right. I remember this in the video. She told this story about how someone allegedly pretended to be a source to the Duggars or some shit and tried feeding her false information or whatever. And this was like a while after Matt Bear had done that. So, yeah, Matt, not all heroes wear capes. They came into my DMs and stated they had information about the Wisman family. Hannah Wisman is courting Jeremiah Duggar. Now I think she's full of shit. Because if someone from the subreddit was coming to her with information, I think they would have faked more pertinent information than I don't know. They claimed to be a journalist, but refused to disclose anything unless I signed a NDA with them before I knew who they were. When I refused, the account sent over a dozen voice memos berating me, calling me a diaper butt. They then published the interaction to the Reddit and... Stop it. There's a story behind that. Then published the interaction to the Reddit and laughed. Criticism is one thing. Stalking, harassing, and death threats are illegal. I hate Reddit and anon sites that allow this behavior, says the queen of Kiwi Farms. For real. Next post we have from December 18th, 2021. I've been standing alone for years, ostracized, bullied, and hated by other YouTubers. But guess what? I didn't care because I was after the truth. The truth about this sick, abusive R word and, yeah, that word, sex cults, the IBLP. I am not obsessed with the Duggars or the Bates. I am obsessed with exposing abusers, helping victims see there's a way out, and elevating the voices of those this cult has terrorized. Just motherfucking Teresa, y'all. I don't focus on other cults because this one is hiding in plain sight. Millions. What? Millions of went through these seminars. Baptist preachers teach the twisted biblical faith to enslave women and children to abusive patriarchs. This cult affects millions of people. It infected our national television on Discovery and TLC. I kind of have to agree with that. And you know, there are times when Katie is kind of fucking right. The cult is still recruiting members through bringing up Bates. You would not stand for Scientology pulling this shit on people. Oh, she didn't say this shit on people. She should have said that. Don't stand for the IBLP fooling and manipulating you through the Bates and Duggars. These people are armed, trying to overpopulate. Trying to overpopulate the non-followers, get into our government, and take over the world. That is their goal. It's called dominionism, can't pronounce that, and Christian nationalism. This means anyone that does not believe like them has no place in their nation. She said, I'm their nation. They will defend their rights through violence if necessary. When people leave, they slander, stalk, and even allegedly kill their adversaries. Do not be fooled. They are dangerous. Stand in your truth, even if it means standing alone, because one day the truth will be revealed and you will be victorious. I don't know. Who wants to tell her that just life ain't a fucking after school special? It really ain't. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say it. It's just not. Okay. October 6, 2022, so about a year later. And this was after Natalie was allegedly arrested. Now, Natalie was allegedly arrested in June 2022. In fact, I found that video. So this is months later when she evidently gave an update about the Natalie Kennett arrest. And she had said that the English, whatever, authorities, they were dropping the case. They were not going to prosecute her. Instead, they were going to close that case and open up a brand new case where she was the victim, like the noted victim or whatever. So she had to go through all of her records and give this detective all of this shit and just reopen up all these wounds for herself again. Anyways, this is where we're at with this post. Update on the stalking situation I've been dealing with for nearly 2 years. The police in West Mercia, she spelled it right that time, have informed me that Natalie continues to be under investigation. She is to have no contact with me at all, whether directly or indirectly. Natalie is not to speak about me online or engage others to harass me. A new report was filed by me a few weeks ago for new harassment I experienced related to her. Please do not engage with this woman online. She is known to use hundreds of fake accounts, make her IP address through VPNs, use fake accounts to make it look like she's being attacked when she's actually attacking herself. And she is known to send horrific videos and images to her targets. I look forward to the day when Natalie is finally incarcerated for what she's done to me and so many others. So, many others. And here she shares her tweet regarding this. Her tweet says, Natalie Kennett's investigation for stalking, online harassment, terroristic threats, and creation of CP is active and ongoing, according to an email I received from West Mercia Police. I have now been added as a victim, and a new report has been filed. As a condition of Natalie Kennett's bond release, she is to have no contact with me, whether indirectly or directly. She is to not contact others about me or speak about me online. Thank you to the West Mercia police for their efforts to hold Natalie accountable. Okay. Now, is that the one that has the comment? No, it's not. Okay. There's a very interesting comment coming up. Very interesting. I can't believe it. I didn't even catch it the first time, but it's interesting. No, wrong way. I'm going to get to that comment. I'm going to check that. When I sent this from June 29, 2021. So this was right before the infamous Kay Baxter stream. When I said I had a stalker, I wasn't lying. Now we know the identity of the person. For months, I was gaslit by people on YouTube. They said I was a liar. They accused me of doing the things my stalker did. My reputation smeared. When I said her name, they accused me of doxing. This has been the scariest time of my life. These are things that she's repeating, like almost verbatim now. This has been the scariest time of my life. I cannot explain to you the fear my family has experienced, the anxiety, panic attacks, and at my lowest, I wanted to end my life. This was my last year. I finally feel we will get justice. I never lied about this, never. I don't, why are you throwing that in there? Like no one prompted that except you. You prompted that and then inserted it. So doth the lady, protest too much? I don't know. I have been painted as irrational, rude, mean, cruel, and crazy. Yeah, but that was long before the whole stalker thing, okay? Let's be real. People laughed at my pleas for people to stop. I did a video on YouTube bawling in fear because of this person. My tears were turned into a meme weaponized against me. No, you didn't. You did a video bawling about the lawyer's fees you had to pay. How this was taking money away from your son to cover your legal fees by being sued by Toddy Westbrook. That's what you cried about for an hour and a half on stream. That was it. Creators were influenced by my stalker, sent information, told I was doxing, stalking, harassing, committing crimes, abusing my son, and harming people. I didn't do those things. You didn't harm people? They were doing many of those things to me. Is that the one I just read? Yeah, okay. They're doing many of those things to me. Where is it? Okay. Wait a minute. Why did I miss a post or something? I think I might have. 19, 20. Okay, 21. It should be what I just read. Their creators were influenced. Did I just skip over something? I guess I did. All right, I don't know. YouTube community believe these lies. I've been labeled worse than Creepshow art, a stalker, harasser, criminal, and bully. That wasn't me. That was the stalker. I made mistakes, but I never did these things. I didn't send death threats, hack, spam, report people to the police, harass the creators, have stock accounts to harass and spam. That was all the stalker. Posting as me to inflict pain, ruin my reputation, and to harm me. I am so sick about. Okay. All I ask is that if you make videos about this situation and blamed me, please remove them. Please send me any evidence you have of what this person did. And please think before you make videos about someone without fact checking. You all painted me the villain when I wasn't. I don't tell anyone online about my marriage or the details about my family. What? Okay. I have kept so much private purposely. You see a fraction of our lives. Please, if you make videos, do not use my son's name or image. Nobody does. Nobody fucking does. He's 8 with serious medical issues and deserves to be left out of it. Then why do you keep bringing him into it? Oh my God. Like, we don't want to talk about him. Like, we as creators make the purposeful choice to not even say his name. Okay? We go so far out of our way to not talk about him. But, okay. I just want my life back. I want my reputation back. I want to stop being afraid. If I lashed out at you by mistake, I've been under such severe duress and anxiety. I'm sorry. That was that one. Yeah, okay. So 22, 23. Here are the comments. Now, nothing interesting there really, whatever. But we get down to the bottom. Oh, look at that. Yikes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's her mom. Her mom that she went no contact with. I mean, granted, the post is like 3 years old, but still, like, it seems like that's a kind of a caring mom. Although, yes, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like there should be more of a comment there, but that's just me. I don't know. But yeah. See, it seems like over this past year, anyways. Like I saw a couple of them. Mostly, I see them though when balls post them on Twitter. But it seems like her mother is still trying to reach out to her, still trying very much to be a part of their lives, even if only in an online virtual way. And that makes me sad. So here we have, oh yeah, I gotta check chat now. Let me do that. I have to go back over to my other window. There we go. All right, I'm over here, chat. What's going on? Am I missing anything? Am I tagged anywhere? Hey, moderate. How you been, stranger? I don't think anyone is expelling that kind of energy in KG these days. They all watching her burn herself down and laughing. Everyone's fairly amused. Spiral, I'm guessing, just passing by. Yeah, pretty much. See, and that's the thing. Like, she's been, again, coming for some creators, trying to blame everything on them or whatever. One creator, she's trying to get shut down. Another creator, she's been posting about today, threatening. And it's ridiculous. It really is, because not only is no one cares to do anything like that. No one wants to give her fucking more reason to bitch, more reason to play the victim. No one wants to give her exactly what she wants. We're all pretty much of the realization that that's exactly what this is. So it's almost comical now for her to like insist that it has to do with this group of people. And she's saying too, like in several of these, I'm going to get to a couple of comments, how she claims that everything gets traced back for sure with certainty to the same group of people. Well, only now that group of people that she's blaming is 7M and Robert Shin. And that's the thing. Whoever's to blame is whoever the flavor of the week is, basically, whoever she's big mad at. And it's whatever, man. I mean, she can say whatever she wants, really. It's her opinion. Sure, I'm not even disputing that. But when you start accusing people of actually committing crimes and you're stating this fact, and then you're alleging to have like the weight of the FBI and shit behind you, well, then you do this on a large platform, you're bound to get a few people who kind of believe you, and therein lies the problem. So, in my opinion. Oh, holy spackle. Oh, bless your heart. Yeah, this isn't about Katie. This is about Katie trying to cause harm and blame other people because she's just big mad. That's what this is about. So, but I mean, hey, if you don't find it interesting, you're more than welcome to move on. Or you can stay and enjoy the show. It's up to you. See if I'm tagged anywhere at all before I go back, because I want to get through these really quick if I can, because I want to get to the next part. Okay, there. All right. So moving on. And find it. There we go. Yesterday, a troll attempted to cut this from June 2021. Yesterday, a troll attempted to cause a drama between Preacher Boy and myself by creating a fake account and messaging him. The same account messaged me, and I knew they were the trolls stalking me, and I blocked them. When I say this has been going on for years and ramped up during the lawsuit, I'm not lying. We've discovered hundreds of fake accounts and received hundreds of fake emails with death threats. Michael Saltz, Toddy Westbrook's lawyer, responded to Preacher Boy to let him know this was not me. He reiterated that I am being attacked by a group through hacking and trolling. This group spams any creator I collaborate with and demand I stop working with them. That's not true. They may get a lot of messages, but no demands are made. This is what happened to Preacher Boy and so many others on YouTube. Creators then stopped working with me out of fear to stop the harassment they received from this group. Now, to that, I'm going to just say, we all know several YouTubers online, right? In the drama community or whatever. Can you think of anyone that would receive a bunch of messages saying you better stop working with that person, and they all fucking listen? No, because like I think as content creators, we're all kind of a bunch of stubborn assholes. And someone comes in our DMs and tries telling us we can't do something, well, we're just going to do it twice as bad. You know, that's my opinion. Some start hate channels or making hate videos against me, so not to be harassed. That's it. Everyone who's made videos calling into question your behavior or criticizing your shit, they've all done it because they want to avoid the harassment. That's why they want to avoid it. In what world would that avoid harassment? Seriously. Michael Saltz is clear that I'm a victim. He is also clear that I'm working with him and the FBI. I'm in full cooperation with Michael Saltz and the FBI. Is that 24? Okay, no, I gotta go 25. These accounts are not me. Messages are not me. Every message I receive is sent directly to the legal team, and they send it to the FBI. I'm sharing so people understand that an attorney that many felt was against me, who is not, we are on the same team now, is coming out publicly to state clearly that what I've said to be true about the stalking and harassment I receive is true. Like they're right there, the way she words that sentence and conveys that information. It's not, you know, I finally have the support behind me to, you know, to hopefully convince people that, you know, these claims I made are in fact factual. No, she wants people to know that the person who people thought was against her is not against her. They're on the same team now, and he's coming out publicly to say that she's been right all along. That's what she just explained there, because that's what's important, in my opinion. Follow Michael Saltz's instructions by reporting this harassment to the FBI and by contacting the LA office, who is actively investigating this case. Thank you. Now we get into the comments. Someone says, so Michael Saltz knows for certain that any person that sends someone something that claims to be you is in fact your stalkers? Whatever. I don't care what that person says. 26. So that person comments, then Katie comes back and says, yup, they are tracked through their headers, IP addresses, and the sites they are using to generate the content. It's not me at all. They are all connected to the same group of people. Not one fucking email was traced back to anyone, even by her own admission, because they were all using this spoof site from the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic is not part of that whole 14 Eyes or whatever the fuck it's called. There's agreement amongst countries where if one country is having crimes committed against their citizens by another country's, you know, citizens through cyber means, then there's an agreement in which the countries will work together to prosecute the people who are responsible. The Czech Republic is not part of this massive agreement amongst nations. They're pretty much like, go fuck yourself. So, yeah. So 127. This person, I don't know this. I thought that this was an interesting comment, but they said, I had a man, they're quoting as if it sounds like they're talking about, or from, as though they're Katie Joy. So it says, quote, I had a man on my platform that may have abused his wife or hurt his sister or participated in the abuse of women and children. And I said it to him because the men in his cult are dangerous and it's hard to know which ones are going to be real and honest or doing something to clear their name. Katie Joy talking about Eric, whatever. I don't quite know what that means, but I thought that there was an interesting comment nonetheless. All right. This person says, it doesn't matter that people created a false account. You falsely accused him of domestic abuse. He wouldn't be getting death threats or from false accounts if you would not have falsely accused him. You need to make a public apology. Janet reiterates this with, yeah, now that I looked into this a little deeper, it appears that Katie Joy kind of creates controversy and then claims victim status. I mean, she even did it in her original post here when she stated that, quote, Saltz made it clear that I am the victim, end quote. Well, he didn't say the word victim, and the message is posted, although he did use the word target. Also, I thought that the IC3 unit of the FBI investigated internet frauds and scams involving financial transactions. So a little unclear how this issue fits in with what they actually do. So there's that. Now you have this one. January 31st, 2021. There are reasons I haven't apologized for actions I'm accused of because I didn't do it, period. So nope, I won't be accountable for being falsely accused of things. She shares a tweet here, whatever, I don't know. 1:30. Almost done with these, so. Here, January 28th. She shares her tweet that says, the recent allegations against me and the Natalie Kennett declaration are false. I did not harass or ask anyone to harass me. Ms. Kennett, nor do I condone, or nor do I ask anyone to harass Ms. Kennett, nor do I condone harassment of any kind, especially directed toward people with disabilities. We look forward to demonstrating this to the court. It was 1:30, 1:31. Here are comments for this. This one here says, you stay in the most drama. I don't know what happened. It's so sad. I used to watch you every day. It's just too much. And then someone says, but you didn't post anything to stands, fans, haters, etc., to not harass, threaten, etc. You also didn't reply with utter anger that people were doing said repulsive crap in your name. This is true. It was 1:31. This post, I have no idea what this post was about because all that she's showing up there are just the red flags. I don't know. And it doesn't look like there was a link to this post, but then now it's like no longer active or whatever. It doesn't even look like that. But the comments, though, nonetheless, were quite interesting. And that's what I'm going to read. So someone wrote, oh, you're finally admitting to what you're all about. That's great. To the red flags, I'm guessing that's what they're saying. Someone says, you know, nothing. But they go back and forth here a little bit. Oh, and they said, do I look like Jon Snow to you? I know everything. You can know, too. Go watch Without a Crystal Ball versus Without a Crystal Ball on YouTube. I dare you. And then someone says, I watch her all the time. I don't think you know who Without a Crystal Ball versus Without a Crystal Ball is. So it was 132, 133. Only a couple left. And here we have. Every time I click on one of these, I see somebody else from Louisiana. This woman is batshit crazy. I know y'all know better than to listen to Katie Joy. Get a grip. She's psychotic. She exposes a lot. Watch her all the time. My right to do that. Yeah, okay. No one said you don't have that right. Someone says, I've seen her destruction for 2 years. She does nothing but lie. Let me guess. You believe she didn't fake being Christian? I can prove that's a lie. Todd said she wasn't in a cult. She says she was. She tells more lies than she breathes air. So these two just kind of go back and forth a little bit. And then I don't know what this is talking about. She says, going after an innocent woman, calling her sponsors, asking for her address, telling her she is a cult, being held against her will. And when that woman comes out and begs and pleads Katie Joy to leave her alone, and Katie refuses, you actually think that's okay? Worth some gossip? You haven't been around long, or you would see the trail of pure destruction left by Katie. If you think she cares about anyone, you are dead wrong. She has no boundaries. So yes, I'm going to warn you. As long as Katie is being destructive, tearing apart people's lives for money, I will be around and actively working to stop her from hurting another person. Call it what you want, but the truth is the truth. By letting this woman continue what she's doing, you are helping her in her assault. This isn't just tea anymore. She's full on harassing people. And I didn't even see that there's more to that. I didn't have to see more. And they just want her to stop. Actually, Julie, we seem to know a lot more than you do about Katie Joy. You do realize that the people here criticizing her are almost all former subscribers of hers, don't you? Or are you so naive that you actually believe her BS about cults sending people after her in comments? Wake up and think for yourself. And then 35. You've got to be kidding me. You literally make a living on smear campaigns, harassment, and bullying. Isn't that the truth? And someone says, I don't think you know what the truth is. Someone says, oh, and you do? And just how do you know? Because Katie, the master at smear campaigns, said so? Please. Then she says, I've done research and continue to research. If a cult is expected, the worst thing someone can do is bring unwanted attention to the members of said cult. The proper and safe avenues to follow with the proper authorities so everyone is protected as much as possible. Coming onto a social media platform. Am I at 135? Okay, no, 136. All right. And I didn't get the rest of that one, it looks like. Okay. Are you really this narcissistic that you don't see the irony of this post? Okay, and then last one. Someone says, this literally describes you. It sounds like you, Katie Joy. I'm not kidding. Okay, so now you're describing yourself. Next, it will be talking to yourself, and then off to the learning path. You have just hurt people with mental. Okay. My bad. Off to the mental health facility. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that. That is, it's kind of a snarky comeback, though. I got to give Virginia here a little bit of credit. Okay, so there's that. Those are the screenshots I had pulled for this stream. And then there's a video I had. Let me check chat though real quick. And I think I might take a quick break here just to run to the bathroom and grab something. But then we'll come back and do the video. Let me check chat. Hey, Animal Lover. Hey, Elizabeth. Okay, cool. I'm not tagging. Okay, so we're gonna take one quick, like 2-minute break. I'm gonna play my intermission music here, and then I will be right back. And we are going to watch the video. It's not a long video. It's like 20 minutes long. It's but you know, commentary. I'll make it a little bit longer, but it won't be crazy long. So I will be right back.
Every time you close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Be in your wet dreams. I wanna be in your wet dreams. In your wet dreams. I wanna. Close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Be in your wet dreams. I wanna be in your wet dreams. In your wet dreams. I wanna.
Hi, sorry, I'm back. All right, I just have to pull something up here because my friend is leaving now, and I want to just watch her leave on my camera. I'm gonna spy on her. All right, got it. All right, honey, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. All right. She says, watch, make sure I get in the car, make sure no one steals me. Okay. Anyway, all right, let me turn this up to no. I don't need that now. Okay. I redid part of my room in here. So like I got rid of the TV that I had back there and the new chair. I love that chair. The chair is so fucking cool. It's a big, huge, giant chair. So the video I am going to be commentating on is, it's saved, right? Okay. Is the video that she has since deleted from her channel. I don't know when she took it down, but I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was like sometime this year. I'm almost positive, not 100% though. But it's titled, what's it titled? It's titled My Stalker, but it's STA_LKER. That's how she spells it. Got arrested thanks to Toddy Westbrook's attorney. How she tried to ruin my family's life. And this is dated June 3rd, 2022. Now, this video, like I said, is no longer up on her YouTube. And I thought I had it. I know I did have it, but I think I must have deleted it or something. So I didn't have it anymore. I asked a couple of people if they had it, and they said no. And I couldn't find it on Llama Girl either. I could find one clip of it on Llama Girl, but not the rest of it. So I found her post on her old Facebook because I knew that she doesn't have access to her Facebook anymore. So chances are her post was still up. And I grabbed the link from that and I put it through Wayback Machine, and sure enough, there it was. So trying to see, make sure it's not getting stolen. So that's what we're going to be watching right now. All right, let me check chat here real quick. Sorry, I have to keep hitting continue on this, otherwise it'll die. Am I muted? I'm not muted, am I? I'm muted, am I? I shouldn't be muted. Okay, there she goes. Damn it, I'm not sure. Oh, my bad. Okay, good. All right, never mind. Yeah, I'm not muted. Yay, okay. And all right, she didn't get stolen. So let me head on over there and pull this up. Okay. So like I said, I put this link through the Wayback Machine, and poof, there it was. And it actually plays too. So we're just gonna watch this real quick because this is what she claimed happened the last time that this really played out on a big scale, is that the people, all those responsible or behind it all, were dealt with accordingly, you know. But yeah, here we are yet again. The same exact shit is happening. It's amazing.
Hey everyone, it's Kate from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. This is a different video, and I don't even know what I'm going to title it yet, but
you guys can hear it, right?
I don't really come onto this channel and talk about my life. And there's been a lot that's been going on in my life that I just never talk about or share, because I have had to learn in the last few years that guarding your privacy online can be really important in my line of work. And I learned the hard way, and that there's people out there that will do things online that under the guise of being anonymous that they might never do. So
I'm guessing, I looked at chat here, and I'm guessing here what I'm seeing, Teresa said, Aurora, what are you talking about? And it sounds like Aurora might be Nat, saying that she told Katie if she didn't remove it or stop talking about her, she would report her for harassment, as she and many others had falsely accused her, me, Ellie, whatever, of the most disgusting crimes imaginable. That's what it sounds like to me. And if you really think I'm responsible, just report me. I can prove my innocence in the UK just like last time. I don't think anything. So this is, I think Katie's probably to blame. In my opinion, I think Katie's to blame for a lot of this, either directly or indirectly. I think this time around it's more directly than before. I have reasons for thinking that, but it's just still my opinion. I got nothing to base this on, really. Nothing concrete, really. Nothing evidentiary anyways. But just based on my experience and patterns and what I know, I guess. So that's what I think. Okay.
Otherwise, and with the fact that they believe they are anonymous and untouchable,
I can't speak.
go to lengths that are really some of the worst experiences that my family has ever had.
We're gonna skip ahead on that because I just really can't hear that.
About this while I was.
I can't help but to notice is throughout her explanation of things and spilling of the tea here, she does an awful lot of smiling. Like she's so happy, giddy almost to be getting this out, in my opinion.
Involved in a lawsuit with Tati Westbrook. So a lot of you might know that Tati sued with Crystal in 2020, and we settled the case. We went through a mediation process, which was very successful. And I would say, like, on my side of things, there's absolutely no hard feelings. And I feel like everyone left that day and that experience feeling like positive. And we had a goal. We had a goal in mind, and that was that there was someone online that was doing things to people that were really, really bad. And they were doing things to our kids. There's been a lot of videos.
Like, how do you say this shit and smile about it? Like, you're doing really, really bad to our kids.
About me. A lot. I mean, I understand if you want to talk about me, talk about me. I really don't care. I don't care if you say a million things about me. I think I would be a hypocrite. And I've learned the hard way because I used to get really mad when people made videos about me. Now I just don't even care. And I really don't care to comment.
That's funny because she's still doing this. She's still reacting to things being said about her online the same way that she did years ago, like serving people, threatening to take them to court or whatever. Like that's still what she's doing, just to try to silence people and get them to remove content and shut up. So this is another prime example of where a person's words will say one thing, but their actions will say another. And their words, they will oftentimes speak against their own interests. They're trying to sell a certain image or narrative. But their actions, they will never act against their own interests. Their actions will always point where their intent truly lies.
Because it's like, I kind of think of it as this way, is like, I go on my platform and I am a reporter and I report on people in the public sphere. And most of these people don't reach out to me, or if they do, it's, you know, it's not a like antagonistic position. So I just sort of like let people talk. The hard part for the last couple of years is that a lot of the stuff that's been out there about me has just been really, really false. But instead of fighting back, I've just been trying to allow things to happen behind the scenes instead, from a legal perspective, so that I didn't ruin the possibility of the people that were doing this to be held accountable. So like
these things being said about her were lies, is just what she's saying. Mind you, that she says the things that are lies are that she didn't call Sophie a brat. She didn't accuse Amber Portwood of threatening to come up to Minnesota and destroy her or whatever. You know, like there's so many things that she says that she didn't do. She didn't dox this person. She didn't accuse Preacher Boy of outing his sisters that he doesn't have, you know, but these are all things that she did in fact do. And there's ample evidence of it, but she says that they're lies, and she wants to hold people accountable for sharing her own words, apparently. I don't know.
Year I did a video about how, so last year I did this video where I basically explained to you that there was this woman that was out there searching for photographs of my son, and that this woman, in collaboration with some other people, was in this group chat trying to find photographs of my kid, posting, creating photographs with my child, and trying to create videos of my son to try to get my husband and I in trouble. I also explained.
Think about this logically for a second, seriously. Okay, what would that do? What end goal would that bring about if this were true? Because authorities can absolutely tell when shit is doctored or spliced or rammed together or whatever, you know, when something doesn't fit with the rest of the image being portrayed on the screen. Authorities can absolutely tell. And if they can't tell with the naked eye, well, then there's programs that can absolutely pick up on this. So, I mean, the chances are of some chick from the UK doing this successfully is slim to none, okay? But even if she were able to, what is that going to give her? Seriously, it could have possibly maybe ruined Katie, but I mean, I still, even if the images looked real, you need everything else to fall into place, and nothing else would fall into place. So I'm not even sure how far that would get her. So really, who is this for? What would that be for? Because who's the only one really who's going to benefit from this? And because it's not the person that she's claiming is trying to do this. They won't benefit from it because they won't do it successfully. It will come back on them like tenfold. Well, it should have been. If it were true, it probably would have done that. But no, other than that, the only person that's benefiting is her. Clearly, in this video is for a great example of this benefit. So,
that the same person and group of people, it's one person that I believe to be the mastermind, and then I think other people just got into the situation as like they were just collateral in this for her. Like she basically would go to anyone that didn't like
just
me
notice
and
right there, she says that anyone else involved is collateral. Just remember she said that, because that changes.
Capitalize on their dislike for me to make them not be objective in about me. So she posed as, just to give you,
see, that's bullshit right there. Because if anyone's acting solely on their dislike for Katie, then they are going to be objective. They are going to do their due diligence and make sure that anything they put out there is factual, because they don't like Katie. They're not going to want to give her an opportunity to be right or to prove them wrong. That's not what they're going to do. If they were obsessed with being right and only being right, then maybe. But she just clearly said it's because of their dislike for her, not because of their desire to be right or something. So,
high level, what happened? A woman named Natalie Kennett.
This is playing through the Wayback Machine, so it's gonna have little skips or whatever here and there. Might have to refresh it at some point. Still have internet, right? I'm at 4:35.
Hey everyone. And trying to create videos of my son to try to get my husband and I in trouble. I also explained that the same person and group of people, it's one person that I believe to be the mastermind, and then I think other people just into the situation as like they were just collateral in this for her. Like she basically would go to anyone that didn't like me and capitalize on their dislike for me to make them not be objective in about me. So she posed as, just to give you sort of a high level of what happened, a woman named Natalie Kennett posed as a friend of mine. So she created this online persona where she and I were best friends. And she told people that because we were best friends, she had all of this information about me. She started this when I was in the lawsuit with Tati Westbrook.
Okay, I just want to clarify here in the chat, Aurora. It wasn't solely, in fact, it wasn't because Katie said this at all. Most people believed her anyway. Maybe her followers did, but no one like over here believed her. The only person that gave us any impression that this was in fact true was you and the confessions you made in both DMs and emails, but also on video. That's why people started to believe it. The people who I'm familiar with anyway. Even then, though, I think a lot of people had a hard time believing it because it just seemed to fit all too well together for Katie's sake, and can't help but to question that. But either way, though, those that I know who believed this then, I can't think of one person who believes it now. So there's that.
And she began to insert herself into my life and has told a lot of people that we were friends when I've never met her ever before. So through this scheme of hers, she basically tried to convince everyone we had a relationship when we never did. I had never even spoken to her. The only time, I think, before this all started, I had received a single message from her, I think on my Instagram at the time. And it was something about how some of my followers had said something that she didn't like, and that if I didn't denounce something, that I was like condoning or supporting what was happening to her. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And at this point, I spent a lot more time like in my DMs, talking to people, talking to subscribers, talking to people, just getting to know them. And I didn't have the best boundaries, I would say, with who I spoke to and what I shared. And I think at a point, she sort of capitalized.
So if I put out, I'm thinking that means if I put out a video, do you think that will help clarify things? I don't know. I can't give you any advice whatsoever there. I don't know. I think anything you do will be a risk, really. I don't think you really need to clarify anything at this point, but that's my opinion. But I can't advise you on what to do. I'm sorry, but I can't.
On that, but then she also created like all of these other fake accounts. So it got to the point where I didn't even know who I was talking to a lot of the time in my DMs. So if I don't respond to your DMs, it's because of Natalie, because she has created probably hundreds of aliases over the last 2.5 years.
I remember her saying before she couldn't respond to DMs because like her screen or things that she says gets faked or whatever, like there's always all kinds of reasons why she can't respond to DMs, and it's whatever suits her the best that week.
She has tried to basically ruin my life and other people's lives. And it's been it's been overwhelming. I will say a lot of the legal situations that I've found myself into, she has made worse, or she has tried to like run up my expenses. She has influenced the people to sue me, or she has, I believe, or she has given them information about me to make them think I'm someone that I'm not. And that's what happened with the Westbrook case, is she basically inserted herself into the case, and they, for a point in time, believed what she was telling them about me until they realized that what she was telling them about me was false.
She loves that chair.
So she told them that I was hacking people, that I was sending like all kinds of threats to people, that I had all these aliases, that I was doing all of these like illegal activities with people, that I was trying to ruin people's lives, that I had some sort of relationship with Clark Swanson, who was Tati's business partner. She created all.
Well, wait a minute. That was true, though. You did have some sort of relationship with Clark Swanson because he was your source. I mean, you had to come out and admit that much after you and Tati settled. So you did have a relationship with him. He's the one who sent you the lawsuit that he filed against Tati. Like, that's how you were the first one to share that bit of info, because he sent it to you, among other information that he sent you. where you then put out disparaging videos on Tati and her husband. So you did have a relationship with him. So that wasn't bullshit, was it?
These scenarios which were completely false, and I started getting thousands upon thousands of emails about this, like saying that I needed to give the video I had with Clark, or I needed to do this that I had with Clark. Like she was trying to basically say that I was going to get arrested if I didn't provide information that I had, or that she had proof of this sort of weird relationship that I had with Clark, which I just did not have. So she was trying to prove that there was this connection between me, her, and Clark. And she was also trying to, like, in a way, say that she had information for the Westbrooks that would help them because of that relationship with Clark. It was completely not based in fact, and it was proven to not.
That's exactly what happened, isn't it? I mean, that's how shit played out. There was information about this relationship with Clark Swanson that was of value and did in fact help the Westbrooks upon learning of this. That's exactly what happened, though, isn't it? I mean,
not be true. And I'll be completely transparent. As a part of our settlement, I gave them my communications with him. So they have everything that I had with him, and it's not that much. So there was so much misinformation during that case because
the fact that you had communications to begin with establishes that there was in fact a relationship. But you're up here trying to act like there isn't. There wasn't one. So, I mean, you don't see that, how that's a lie.
People like Natalie inserting themselves into it, that from a legal perspective, moving forward, we've just stopped talking about all the legal situations because it just fuels all these people and encourages them to enter in.
This was June 3rd, 2022. This is before, oh wait, this was after the K-Baxter stream. That's right, my bad. But no, this is June 3rd, 2022. This was not the end of any discussions of this. In fact, she did a video like a few months after this. I mean, okay.
Enter into the lawsuit. And the attorneys that I have today are much more, I mean, Michael Brown, who's my attorney in Washington, was faced with a very impossible task at the time. And my attorneys here are a lot more like, we ignore what happens on social media and we just let it play out in court, which has helped me greatly with navigating what Natalie has done in my life. So
exactly. Her lawyer's not trying to get their feet dirty or whatever, and run around in the mud with everyone else. It's giving her free reign to run the whole mud pasture, in my opinion.
She inserted herself into my life. She created all of these fake accounts, and she reported me to the authorities on multiple occasions. Now, her, because of what she's done and because of how she's involved herself with other people, she has gotten people with much larger platforms to believe these things about me. And so that has fueled some of what's happened to me as well, because some of the people that have sued me, I don't want to say their names, I believe have been fed information from her.
She's talking about Todd Chrisley. Todd Chrisley, who sued her based on some things that she said in live streams or whatever. But I think most importantly, because of what Katie said, when she alleges to have received a phone call from a crew member on the Chrisley Knows Best show, stating that everything Lindsay said on Dr. Phil is true. Like, that's, to my knowledge, that's the main reason. That was like the catalyst as to why he sued her. I don't see how the fuck Natalie could have like invented that and told Todd. Like, that was her own words.
So people believe these weird things about me that she tells them. So some of the lies that she has created and she told people was that because she and I were best friends, that my child was being hurt by my husband, that I was being hurt by my husband, that I wanted to leave my husband, that she had documented proof of what my husband was doing to both me and to my son, that she had photographs of me that had injuries, that she had photographs of my son with injuries. And when her story started falling apart and people realized that she was lying about that kind of stuff, she went to the extent to try to take images of my son's face and
Now let's look back at this for a minute. So Natalie came about in the middle of January, or beginning middle of January, gave a declaration in the Toddy Westbrook defamation suit against Katie Joy. Her defamation pretty much just stated that she witnessed Katie Joy deleting comments or some shit, deleting something on social media. That was the extent of her input on the lawsuit. So it's not even like the lawsuit was hanging on a thread or hanging on like the thread of Natalie's declaration or whatever. She just gave her testimony. That's it. And then, as like Katie said here, Katie's right, that it was quickly after that things started to unravel and fall apart, whatever, like who she was or a claim she was making, whatever. They were right off the bat, people had questions on some of the things. But then that means she wasn't very convincing. It fell apart very quickly. I mean, anyone could have made a convincing public front on this and done a decent job, unless the purpose was to not actually do that, and the purpose was to tarnish the other side and tarnish the claims and declarations of the other side to give her side, Katie Joy's side, a bit of an advantage, in my opinion, allegedly.
Transposed them onto bodies and created a manufactured CP. And she wanted to create videos of my son in CP to get me arrested or my husband arrested for CSAM, which she got transfixed on because of my coverage of the Duggars, I'm assuming. She seemed to, no matter what story I was covering, she would somehow get fixated on that topic. And then everything that would come my way would have to do with what that person was doing. So in the Duggars case,
did she even realize that she's describing herself there? I mean, oh my God, like, you want to talk about fixation on such subject matter or whatever. I mean, clearly, but like the whole like inserting herself or kind of, oh my God, okay.
She lied and said that she was part of this religious organization and bad things happened to her in this organization. She tried to manufacture CSAM with my son's image and with Michael Saltz's daughter. She
also reached out to Preacher Boy, another creator, and convinced him I was sending threats to him. He then uploaded a video about me believing her lies. I think he still believes I sent him those messages. And you need to ask yourself why that is, okay? Because when Preacher Boy and Katie first like revealed their I don't know, their knowing each other or whatever, their openness to collaborate with each other. It was when he appeared on one of her live streams in an impromptu moment. And he received a lot of messages after that of people saying, listen, dude, just look into it. Just do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Just look into it. Here's a few links, a place to start or whatever, but just Google her. So he did. He did his own research. And this is the impression that research left on him. To that, as Katie says here, I think he still believes I sent him those messages. That's the impression his research left on him about Katie Joy. This is a lot, in my opinion.
To a point where I was receiving, I would say, some days, hundreds of these emails from her, which included threats, videos that were very graphic, descriptions of what she would do to my child, descriptions of what she was going to do to me that were very graphic. I mean, I have a folder to this day, which I've still kept in the event that at some point she gets arrested, which she has, that I'm going to hand over to the authorities and they can do with it what they want. This was all the stuff that she had said to me, and it was horrible. And it put me in a position where we were really scared for our safety. We debated moving. We had police here. The sheriff was amazing throughout the process here, but it was made more challenging by the fact that she was then going online, and anytime I would say something happened, she would say that I was lying, and then people would say that it didn't happen. So it was like I was being gaslit even when I was telling the truth.
Holy shit,
like if the police showed up here.
She does know the definition of gaslit. Like this, I think the first time I've ever heard her use that word correctly. It's amazing.
she would tell people that that didn't happen, and they would believe her because they didn't like me. And
Oh my
she would use, I'm assuming she would use that we were friends. I don't know how she convinced people that we had a relationship, other than I know that she's likely creating fake messages.
No one, people were going around believing her because they didn't like Katie Joy. I mean, I don't even think that many people really believed her on everything. Definitely, the majority of people did not believe her much of the time, let alone all of the time. But at times they did. But it never was it because they didn't like Katie Joy.
So she had successfully convinced people, multiple people, lots of people, that I'm this horrible person that's doing really bad things. And so people were making videos buying into this, that I was a hacker, that I was sending people messages. I mean, they were during the stuff with the lawsuit, I think Emily Baker was getting stuff too. And so people were then accusing me of sending these things to Emily, which I was like, I didn't want Emily to be a target of her either. Like, anyone that was remotely connected to me became a target of her. And people that spoke out against her then and defended me became targets of her. So I can specifically think of Kay Baxter, who has a channel that's covered me. She's been critical of me. I will say that in all of the people that I've spoken to that cover me, that are critical of me, she's by far like the most respectful and treats me like a human and asks me questions. So thanks for that, Kay. So Kay defended me, and she then—
I don't think Katie's watched all of Kay Baxter streams on Katie. Like, it's
became a target. At one point, I think Charlotte on the web said something in defense of me, and then she became a target. I think T-Spiracy might have become a target at some point. I just think like all these different people eventually became targets. And then people that were working with her and helping her were indirectly becoming targets too, but they were ignoring it because they were getting all of these threats, and she was telling them that I was sending them, but she's like befriending them, telling them that I'm—
see, no one believed that Katie was sending these threats either, and definitely not directly anyway, because she was in the middle of a lawsuit. You'd have to be pretty much insane to do that. No one would do that. No one of sound mind would do that. No one thought that Katie Joy was sitting at a computer screen typing these things out and sending them. We question and are of maybe more of the belief that she was aware that such fuckery was going on and that it was kind of planned. But that's it. I don't think she knew any specifics or anything like that because, well, possible deniability, in my opinion. But I do think that the situation is different, though, this time, in my opinion.
To her and to them. So she would have to, like, every single person she went to, she had to, like, spread this conspiracy and scheme wider. She had to make it look like she wasn't involved in it, and it was always me. It really made no sense. And she convinced people that I was sending the messages that I was receiving to myself. So everything I did—
She didn't have to convince anyone of that.
I was doing it to myself. Everything that was happening to other people I was doing it to them. Natalie was the one that was telling the truth. Natalie was the one, and she used mental health as her excuse. So anytime something would come up, she would fall on it that she had dissociative identity disorder or that she had some severe mental illness and that we were supposed to excuse it. So anytime she got caught doing something, she would use a mental health issue and use that as an excuse, which over time became very manipulative when you know that they know that if they say this, you're not going to fight back because—
kind of like someone who every time they get their feet held to the fire, they get called out on the shit. They then sit there and say they have ADHD, PTSD, a son who with chronic illnesses, and is kind of like that, right? You know, just anything to avoid accountability, right?
Guys, I'm not going to go after someone who's going through mental health crises because I've gone through them too. And I'm a mom of a child with autism. Like, I'm sympathetic to that kind of stuff. And I don't want to hurt people. And I think she played on that a lot with other people. And then there's just been all these other minions that they know what she's doing is wrong, but they don't care, because as long as it's happening to me, they'll excuse what she's doing and they'll justify it because they think that I'm a bad person. I don't care if people don't like me, and I don't care if there's like these creators that think I'm an evil person. They've been misled by this woman. And finally, I can't believe this, she was arrested yesterday. I know for some of you, none of this will ever make sense. And for some of you, you're just like, why the hell are you even telling me this, Katie? And I feel like it's like, for a year and a half, I've been pretty quiet about it. I don't talk about it. Once the FBI got involved, I didn't speak about the investigation because, one, I figured she would tell people I was lying, and then people would think that it didn't happen.
I just read that. I just saw what she said. Once the FBI got involved, she didn't speak about the investigation. She didn't shut up about the fucking investigation. She just kept going on and on about it for months. I mean, Unirock streamed about it constantly.
Even though 3 separate agencies were involved. So we first got the Seattle agency involved, then it moved to the Los Angeles agency, then it moved to the Philadelphia, or a group in Pennsylvania. And it was the group in Pennsylvania that executed multiple search warrants and did a full investigation, because we were of the belief that
that's a good point Teresa brings up in the chat. But now she's saying that Nat was never arrested. Mm-hmm. Yep.
People involved that she had brought into the scheme that were from the United States, and she was in the UK, and the FBI was like, if she's from the UK, there's not much we can do. If we can find someone that she was corroborating or like collaborating with here in the United States, we can certainly get her charged on that. And their specific issues were the morphing that she was doing with my son's image and Michael Saltz's daughter's images. So it's actually a federal crime of obscenity, and under the statutes of CSAM, you can't morph a child's photograph onto a body that's in a position that's unclothed. It's considered indecent, and it's considered CSAM. So they were going to, if they could, try to prove that and charge these people with like production, which was 20 plus years. So I had to be really quiet. And so after a very exhaustive investigation, it came down to the fact that they believed it was all coming from Natalie, and that even if other people were got into it, they eventually became victims of Natalie. And so
what she's saying right there is that it was determined that these images were in fact illegal in CSAM. And I only say it like that because I don't know if they were or not. I'm not going to sit here and argue it one way or the other. The law is the law, whatever the law says goes. That's where I stand. But I had a conversation with an attorney where they said, depending on what the images look like, because how I explained to him what the images I received, I gave him a detailed description of what these images were. And so what he said was, there's a part of the law or whatever that falls under like satire or something or some shit like that. But it has to be obviously fucking, fake, obviously over the top, ridiculous, And I just shared a conversation because people were asking me, why hasn't Natalie been arrested yet? And people were genuinely upset. I didn't know what to tell them. So I told them about this conversation I had months prior, this retired federal attorney here. And I just said, that's what he said. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Because I can't speak for what anyone else received or whatever. I don't know. And if evidently people just wanted to take that as I was calling it that. I'm not an attorney. I don't know anything about that law. I don't know anything about a satire law. I don't know anything about this law. I can't call it anything because I don't fucking know. I just reiterated a conversation to try to maybe, I don't know, help someone find some sort of reasoning or whatever in the lack of action being taken by authorities and these horrific alleged crimes, So yeah. Now, but so given all that, what she's saying here is that these were in fact illegal. These were illegal, and they couldn't touch the main culprit because the main culprit's over in England. But the main culprit allegedly had some like U.S. counterparts, whatever, that they worked with. You don't think for a second though that the government here would at least hold their balls to the fire or something for a short time, just to squeeze whatever they could out of them. They didn't even do that. They did nothing. Why the fuck is that? Why did our government not care about this? Because according to Katie, our government was all up in this, but then they just walked away without a care. Why is that?
People would cut her off, but then she would create emails and messages and make people believe that people were talking to her, even though they weren't. And while the investigation with the FBI was going on, we were trying to like get anything that we could from Natalie, and we were trying to get her to like, we had to play like, I had to play like nice guy with her. Like I had to be like nice to her, and I had to try to get information from her.
Right.
But the information was always just so convoluted, and her story would change, and then she would have her mom email.
What information did she have to get from Katie or from Natalie? I mean, she lives in the UK, so I mean, and Natalie had confessed to shit like time and again. Really, what information was she trying to get that she had to go undercover as her friend? And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why Natalie kept calling her friend, because as Katie here is admitting, she faked being her friend, basically.
And she would email me, and the stories never matched up. I mean, it got to a point where she literally admitted to the police in my county that she falsified records and reports. And then there was discussion with the sheriff's office here, are we going to charge her with filing false reports? And that was another thing that we were talking about with the FBI. And they eventually came to the conclusion that without Natalie, everyone else was sort of ancillary, and they didn't feel like they could bring anything against anyone here in the US because Natalie was creating so much fake documentation to make it seem like all of these people were doing things that they weren't doing.
So that's why anything you are given by Natalie, you corroborate with the other end of that exchange, whether it be text, email, call, whatever. It will be on the other person's phone or the other people's phone. That's why you obtain their records and then you compare. And whatever matches, it's real. If there's shit that doesn't, well, then chances are it doesn't match. It's not real. So, yeah. What the people here in the States didn't have anything on their devices? Like they outsmarted the fucking FBI like that? Wow. That's gotta be embarrassing.
So during that process, you know, a lot of us were like we're pointing fingers at a lot of people, like this person did this person did that, this person.
Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people. Only you and, well, Unirock pretty much were doing that.
Did this, and I believed it because that's what I saw. I was seeing people interacting with her, and I saw them all working together, and the FBI believed that she was the mastermind. When we got that news, it was really hard because we wanted her to be held accountable. Imagine going through the worst stuff of your life. You've got police at your house saying that you've been reported for producing CSAM, and you're like, I didn't do that, or you're harboring Brian Laundrie. I mean, that literally happened. Or, I mean, that my husband was live streaming and was threatening to hurt me. You know, it was stuff that was just so off the wall that the police were like, I think she's trying to get you hurt through us. So then we had to develop like this whole system.
It was also so off the wall that it was hard to believe. You know, I wonder if maybe that was by design. I don't know. But almost like you want to create enough of an alarm for there to be a visit, but you don't want to actually like fuck yourself over and have them show up with guns blaring, you know?
Like, how do we protect our safety from her through these reports? And then they have to follow up on the stuff, because what if it wasn't true? You know, what if it was true? Like, what if I was being hurt? What if my son was being hurt? They would get in trouble for not following due diligence. After this whole thing came to pass with that, and they narrowed it down to her, they still don't know if she's been pushed or aggravated to do these things by other people, or motivated by.
Then who's the mastermind? I thought she was the mastermind. I thought that throughout this video, Natalie's been labeled as the mastermind, but now she's expressing doubt and that.
By other people with larger platforms that we don't know, but we do know that she was instigating a lot of it. So Michael Saltz and I were really disappointed when we found out about the FBI, but Michael didn't drop it. I kind of like, once the FBI said they weren't going to do anything, I just lost hope. And I was like, I don't think that anything's going to happen. And I got in, I stayed in communication with Michael and he would keep me updated. I mean, for a long time, my conversations with Michael were daily as we were trying to work this out, figure this out, and fight for our kids. And he made a promise. He made a promise to me, and he made a promise to my son, and he made a promise to my husband that he was going to hold the people accountable that did what they did to her, to his daughter, to his family, and to my family, and to anyone else that was collateral damage as a part of this. And he made good on that promise. Michael posted this on his Twitter, and I just want to prove to you that this is real. He said, I'm advised that Natalie Kennett has been arrested today and had her electronic devices seized by the West America Police Department in the UK. Conditions of her bail state she may not own or possess.
I mean, one thing that was bothering me about this is why didn't he tag West Mercia? Okay, did he spell it wrong in this one? Oh yeah, this one. Oh, that's right. It says West America Police Department, but I always wondered why they weren't tagged. I mean, it just seems like something you would tag, or seems like they played a part in the story that would garner them a tag on Twitter.
Possess any device capable of connecting to and send any messages or images from the internet. If you're contacted by Ms. Kennett while she's out on bail, please document it and contact me privately to obtain information on how to submit such evidence to appropriate detectives.
Why wouldn't you just put out the instructions or who to contact to make such submission? I don't know what attorney wants to make himself the contact person for all of that. Like, that just seems like a lot of work. And for someone who's not a member of these investigatory bodies.
If you are a V related to CP images, threats to your children, and or the fabrication of DMs and emails, and you believe Ms. Kennett was involved, email me your information privately to be passed on to the appropriate detectives if you're willing to make a statement. He said, we thank the agents of the FBI offices in Seattle, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia that worked this case. We also thank the constabulary detectives and forensic teams of the West America Police Department for their hard work they have done and continue to do in this case. And then he thanked another person who was doing some work with him on the internet.
He did tag. And I'm fucking Reagan. That's who he was, the other person here. Katie won't dare say her name. I'll give her credit for something. But yeah, Saltz did tag her.
So long story short, if you are someone that has been affected by this person, contact Michael. I am prepared to fully cooperate with this investigation. So I'm not going to be making much more comments than this. And I want to just say that, like, when I say that she's done something, that's my belief. I hope they can prove, like, they've proved it here in the United States through the FBI that she did these things. So I feel like I can confidently say that, but like on the UK side, I think they're going to have to make that same determination. So they're going to have to go through a lot. I know that they got her phone yesterday and a bunch of other stuff, and they're going to be looking through all of that. So if you have seen these videos where people just can't stop talking about me, part of it is because of Natalie and what her like behavior has, how she's twisted people's minds about me. And I just want to say this, whether or not you like someone on the internet or you don't like someone on the internet, don't get so lost in your dislike of someone to actually go after and report things that are just false. Like,
You don't fucking say, oh my God, I have a list of names that Katie has done exactly that to. In fact, I think I have it on the computer. I don't think it was on my iPad. I think it's a text document. Let me see if I can find that. Steve's been asking me for it. I can't find it anyways.
it's one thing to report on a criminal case or a public figure and doing research and that kind of stuff. Like what I do here is I try to stick to what's happened in court and what are people telling me or what's being posted online. I try not to, assign
defamation
to people that haven't happened. I try not to be misguided by not liking someone to just create something to get a view because I'm bored or because I want the attention or whatever it is. Just remember that
it's literally what she's done with this whole 7M story. She has blown shit up out of proportion that was nowhere near that big of a mountain or even a molehill. And she has flat out just invented things. I mean, she's been sued for at least a file on or whatever for defamation like 4 times. Yeah, she's just over there just reporting on factual information, sure.
Being blinded by hate for someone doesn't absolve you of responsibility to not spread information that's hurtful and not to participate with people or engage people that are creating CP. There are literally creators that are defending her creation of this and saying I did it or that it wasn't that bad. Until your child is on the other end of this and it's your child's image being made in this capacity, even the people that had their kids as targets were trying to defend her because they hate me. What if your child grows up and sees that video and sees that mom did not fight for her or him and they
obviously people didn't really fully believe she was behind it because, like I said, people will act with their own intentions. Their actions will represent what they really think and feel. So yeah, that's what it was. But also to call upon what Katie herself here just said, I hope her child doesn't come across this information someday, because he will then see and hear exactly how his mother exploited him for her own selfish endeavors here. And then he will see how it was just all dropped. It was never spoken of again, really, until it was she needed the narrative again. Because yeah, I can't think of anything worse than that.
Where mom was justifying that a stranger on the internet made CP with their image.
Much like Katie was justifying that on Kay Baxter's stream, right?
And that's out there in the internet now.
Goes ahead.
Horrible. I don't want that kind of content out there about my son. And that's why I'm a mama bear. I'm not going to stand by and let that happen. If you do that to my kid.
A mama bear would not have dropped it. A mama bear would not have just let this go away because it's some people in the UK or whatever deemed it not to arrest or whatever, charge someone. A mama bear who truly and honestly believed that their child was a victim and victimized by this person would not give up. Would not just shut up about it. Would not just move on with their merry way. No mama bear would do that shit.
Kid, I'm going to find out who you are and we're going to figure this out.
I
just want to thank Michael Saltz for doing that. I'll probably never get.
Don't make me have to refresh. There's only 3 minutes left. Or is it more than 3? 5. $26, $21.
Hey, everyone. To get a view because I'm bored or because I want the attention or whatever it is. Just
here we go.
I just don't wish this on anyone. And if you were hurt by her, I feel for you. I'm sorry. What she did was horrible. What she's done to my life and what she's done to me has been terrible. I mean, there was people that hate me so much that defended her and said that I was making this about me. And I'm like, I was the primary target here. It all started with her hatred for me. I know there's other people that she's probably done this before me, but when it comes to this group of people, it was me that she targeted. It was me that she wanted to go after. It was me that she wanted to destroy. And then all these other people got hurt too. And Michael's kid got hurt. Michael's family got hurt. His law practice got hurt. Like, that's not acceptable. The rest of the channels, like, people are always like, well, what about this person that's always talking about you? You guys, I don't care. Let them talk. I don't even watch their content. Like, we have a literal rule in our house. Like, we don't watch the negative stuff about me. We don't engage in it. And it makes our life happier. You know, we don't deal with it. And if things come up and these people provoke someone to sue me, we deal with it legally. I mean, these people egged people on to sue me. They've egged people on to start class action lawsuits against me by giving them false information about me. It's crazy. So why are you always getting sued? Partly because Natalie Kennett inserts herself, spreads lies about me, and makes people that are already on the verge think that they have a case because she convinces them I'm a bad person. And then she has a group of enablers that help her because they want me to get sued as well. And
this was just a few months after the 7M served her. I think in April, she was served by 7M. This was June. So not even a few, just like maybe a couple of months. Funny how she has been talking about blaming this shit on Natalie for this whole time up until recently.
And I thankfully had one of those cases dissolved and settled. And Michael has learned, and Tati, that I'm not the bad person that Natalie told them I was.
That's not why Tati sued her. Like, Natalie had nothing to do with it. But she says that they settled because, you know, Michael has learned. He learned his lesson that Katie's not this bad person. And then by extension, Tati learned too. Imagine being Tati and hearing her say that Tati learned.
And we hope to resolve the other issues the same way. So for that, if you have ever been on the receiving end of anything like this, just know that you're not alone. The best advice I can give is try not to fuel the fire. Try not to give it too much attention. Try not to make them excited. Like, I will say this, the more I talked about it, the more amplified she got. The more I shared of things that she did, the more excited she got because she got attention for it. Every time she did something to me that she can inflict pain on me and I responded, she rejoiced in that. And she rejoiced in the attention that she got from the haters that hated me, that were making videos about me. And she got off on that, on hurting people and hurting me. So the case is ongoing. She was arrested yesterday. If anyone named Natalie Kennett reaches out to you, contact Michael Saltz. He's on Twitter. And to those of you that believed me and knew that I was not the one doing these things, thank you. To those of you that didn't believe me and believed her, I hope you can come around and realize that it wasn't me and that it was her. And I hope you realize that just because you don't like me doesn't mean that I'm guilty of things that I didn't do. You can just find a rational reason not to like me rather than creating reasons. Like, I don't like Josh Duggar because of his, he downloaded CSAM and hurt his sisters. Like, that's a valid reason not to like someone. Not liking someone because a lady on the internet said that she's her best friend and that her husband's doing things to her and there's no evidence.
So then we should just not like Katie because of downloading CSAM and hurting her sisters? Why can't you just dislike me for the same reason why Josh is disliked? I mean, come on. Why does it have to be these crazy reasons that Natalie's inventing? Just dislike me for the same fucking reasons here. Like, okay. All right, sis, you got that.
evidence, that's not really a reason not to like someone. Like there's valid reasons not to like Josh Duggar. There's valid reasons not to like cults that abuse women.
And there's valid reasons not to like Katie Joy. The similarities. Like, you know, I forget the name of that graph or whatever. That shows like the circles and where the circles will overlap or whatever. I wonder what the overlapping parts of Katie Joy, cults, and Josh Duggar would be as far as reasons why they're disliked. That would be interesting.
But me just existing on the internet, if that annoys you, I'm sorry.
She says she's sorry, but I don't think she
go away. Natalie couldn't make me go away. And if I can get through Natalie, I can get through anything. I want to thank all of you guys who took the time to watch this, who have supported me, who have not engaged in this kind of.
Now, here's what I want to know. Now, I know the account Aurora here in the chat has said that the reason why this video is no longer up is because Katie was threatened with whatever, you know, legal action, whatever, to take it down because it was defamatory, yada yada. That may be true. I don't know. But let's just talk this out here for a minute. Let's say that it's not true. Well, then why the fuck did she take this down? Why does this video no longer exist on her channel? And like, she doesn't even mention Nat's name anymore, really. She doesn't really accuse anyone of anything too much, like not by name, but she will definitely insinuate that it's this group of stalkers or whatever. But then let's consider, what if that is true? Well, if Katie was so sure that it was Nat behind all of this, because if I was so sure that that was the person responsible for doing these horrific things, you can bet your ass I'm gonna fucking take that down. Like, why? I mean, there's plenty of evidence to support my keeping it up. Like, you know, like I mentioned earlier, how there's been a video that at least one video I know of where Nat confessed to this. Whether or not it's true, whether or not she meant it, whatever, is another story. But I'm just looking at this as, why the fuck did Katie take this down? That's it. I'm trying to rationalize this in my head because I can't. The only thing that really makes sense to me is because Katie herself knew it was bullshit. That would tell me, that would make sense to me why it's no longer up. That's my opinion. I can't prove this. I got no evidence proving this, but it's definitely my opinion. So, which, if that's true, then who's behind all this shit now? You know, does Katie know who's behind all this shit now? Because she seems to want to use this and exploit this whenever it suits her, whenever it serves her. But the claims she's making are fucking outrageous. I mean, right down to the whole, her being convinced that Shin is speaking to her through Miranda's posts because of some song about birds' feathers or some shit. Like, this isn't normal behavior. This isn't normal thinking. In fact, it's not normal in cult-like thinking or behavior for that to be true. I mean, and let's be honest here, she doesn't give a shit about breaking up cults or whatever. She just wants to see people who she thinks are bad or worse than her pay. So maybe she doesn't feel so bad about the shit she's doing. I don't know. But she seems to just really get off on tearing others down. That's her whole purpose, in my opinion. That's her reasoning for everything she does. Because like I said before, someone's words may say one thing, but their actions will depict their true intent. And look at her fucking actions, man. Her actions absolutely support the theory that she just loves to tear others down. It doesn't matter if they're guilty or innocent. It doesn't matter if it's deserved or not. She's deemed it deserving for whatever reason, because she wants to see it happen. Therefore, it's going to happen. In my opinion, whatever. And no matter what she says, no matter what she does, she can't cover this shit up, because her entire existence online supports that. Right down to her lack of advocacy as she tries to proclaim accolades of advocacy for herself. Like no one's sitting here thanking her for helping victims, because there's not one victim that she's helped. There's victims she's created or victims she's worsened, but she wants to be congratulated for destroying others. I don't know, maybe she was punished for trying to do that all throughout life or whatever. She's trying to rectify that wrong. I don't fucking know. I'm not a therapist. I have no psychological education whatsoever. I just have many years I've lived on this earth and watched people for many years tending bar, and just something's not right here, sis. Something ain't right. That's my opinion. Anyway. All right, we're done here. Let me go over to chat. I'm gonna do this right now. Yeah, exactly. Katie Stalker hurts KJ, then goes after all KJ enemies. Sure. See, I had an email exchange with someone when they're asking me if I thought a couple of people could be behind it. I gave my opinion. And one other thing, though, they had stated to me that they said that it seems like whoever this is, whoever's behind this, they're obsessed with all things Katie. And I responded to that saying, there's only one person obsessed with all things Katie, and that's Katie. And judging by who they're going after here and what they're doing and how they're trying to pinpoint things or accuse people, I don't think I would have to ask myself, like, is this really someone who's obsessed with Katie, or is this someone who's obsessed with those who have wronged Katie? Because that's how it comes across. This doesn't come across as someone who really wants to hurt Katie. In fact, it seems like they go out of their way and they're very careful not to do that. Maybe make it look like there's a danger, but then just reveal themselves to be completely, totally inept to actually create a danger on behalf of Katie. But instead, it's left very ambiguously, very vaguely, that those who have followed Katie are really behind this. It doesn't pinpoint it, doesn't draw a clear path, but leaves just enough of the map to where people kind of make their connections to themselves or whatever, and they think that that's the case, but it's not. So it's amazing how inept they are to actually try to hurt Katie, but how skilled they are at creating all this doubt and question about everyone else, and also too about how perfect they are in their efforts, because no one's been able to catch them or directly link anything to them and hold them accountable. Like, we're talking investigatory agencies on both sides of the pond here and internationally, and they couldn't be touched. Wow. Like, even members of Anonymous got fucking busted, dude. But these people, no, they got away with it. It's crazy, right? It's fucking crazy. Now, if they got away with it, it's because they weren't actually at fault, in my opinion. Whatever. And she's the advocate then for the Queen of England. Yeah, well, she fancies herself one, that's for sure. Advocate, not queen. Although anything's possible. Good night, Elizabeth. Yeah, I gotta wrap this up too. It's 2:30 a.m. here. I started a lot later than I planned on, and I have to work tomorrow, but not till later on. But I want to get to sleep, and I don't know, get some more shit done tomorrow. I'm so proud of myself for getting so much in this room done. I got a few things I still want to do. I brought the chair in there just to have something back there because I don't have anything put back there yet, and I kind of like that chair. It's very comfy. You can lay down in that chair and sleep. It's pretty cool. As my cat is enjoying. I know she may be hard to see, but she's in that chair. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry, I'm not looking at it from the. There we go. All right, yeah, you can see now. see her a little better. This brown chair that I want to get out of here, it takes up too much room. Anyway. Okay, so no, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good night. And I won't be streaming tomorrow, I don't think. But I don't even know. What am I working Tuesday? I don't even know. Because there's actually a lot of things I want to cover in streams coming up. Not all Katie related, but fuckery related. We'll say that. All right, there we go. Tuesday. Yeah, I won't be streaming Tuesday either. Maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. It'll be late though. Again, if I do. If not, then Wednesday. Because it looks like I have Wednesday off now instead of Thursday. So if not tomorrow night, then look for me on Wednesday. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good night. Take care. Bye.